The Elementary Teachers Federation of Ontario is running a workshop for thousands of teachers on white privilege. They take it as a given, therefore, that there is such a thing as white privilege. Tarek, let's start with you. How do you react when you hear the term white privilege?
Well, it exists. It's very widespread, but most white people are blind to it.
Anthony?
Define white privilege. I've never heard an exhaustive definition of this term, and it seems to me just a bogus new phenomenon
Let me
to give people
you some
something
evidence.
to agitate.
Jay, how are you reacting to this?
Well, I think that white privilege exists to a point. I think, though, that there's privilege, that we're all privileged in different ways. I think, for instance, say that there is such a thing as Muslim privilege.
We listen to you. Tarek, we listen to you. You don't have brown privilege to take over the show.
No.
JJ,
I should walk out.
Give your answer.
No, what I was going to say, if
Why
say
do you
someone
bring
like
Muslim privilege in
Tarek...
it? This bullshit is not acceptable.
Tarek, calm down.
No, I
What I was
won't.
going to say is that if someone like Tarek goes to the airport and says that, oh, I was singled out for my race and for my religion, he is much more likely to get a lot of sympathy from sort of broad society than if I go to the airport and say I was singled out, and if I say, oh, I was racially profiled, people would tell me to take a hike. So that's a form of privilege as well.
All right, well, go ahead and respond.
Respond to what? He never addressed white privilege. You ask a discussion on white privilege, and you get an argument that because I am discriminated at airports, that is my privilege. Do you know the number of times with my name that I have never in 40 years been able to go through an airport without a check with the name Fatah? Have I ever complained about that?
No, but see, if you say that, then in turn, we're likely to give you a great deal of sympathy for that,
Tarek,
which is
let me
fine.
explain something to you. This is not actually the Tarek Fatah show. Now, we want you to participate. We want you to also respect the other people. Respect the other people.
You're not respecting me.
No, you're trying to hijack the show.
White privilege is a really controversial topic, and I think that one thing that this topic does, first and foremost, is create division. Now, this is generally a concept that is reserved for, chatter within university classrooms, a kind of fluffy academic term that doesn't really, personally, in my opinion, I don't really think it has a real practical place in society.
What she's talking about, Tarek Fatah, is the politics of division instead of inclusion.
Yeah, I think therefore we should have at least 40% of the cab drivers should be white. 80% of the grocery store owners should be white, because it's a 18-hour job. Are we blind to the fact that 80% of jobs are never advertised, that they go to the people you know, and folks who come here as landed immigrants have absolutely no links to those networks?
How is it that almost everybody working at the Chinese restaurant is Chinese? Isn't that the same thing?
That's the family.
No, it isn't.
That's
Family can't possibly be big enough to fill up some of the restaurants.
That's your example of how privileged Chinese are privileged?
You brought up the point of people you know.
Why is there no cab driver that looks like you in Toronto?
All brown, black, and Asian people always advertise every job they have.
Because we run this country,
No, I'm saying that's how employment works. All right.
Employment works without advertising.
I know that some jobs that I've applied to have had quotas that I don't apply for.
All right, well, here's what we're going to do. Because he's the only non-white person, we're going to give some privilege to Tarek, and you can run out the clock. Go ahead.
No, I don't wish to. I don't wish to.
Oh, I'm offering you a final statement here.
Well, I wish to because I have privilege, and I'll take it away.
Please.
Then you can interrupt me, or if Tarek wants to keep talking. I do not think the Elementary Teachers Federation should be doing this because it focuses on what makes us different, not makes us the same.